TNC Predator into the Mercedes-Benz Arena for the first time on the main stage, and they find themselves in the upper bracket after a good, solid group stage performance from them, backed by a man who is a TI winner. That's right, their coach, no less, is a TI winner. If anyone can help them calm down and deliver, it is the man Heen. They've got the ability. We've known that for years, but now have they finally got the strategy? We're going to find out as they go head-to-head with a team who have been in imperious form throughout the season. It is Vici. 2017-18 was an unprecedented year for Vici Gaming. The team with the silver badge had 7 second places, but this year things have changed. The silver has changed to gold as they claim major champions. They come into TI as probably the best informed team in the world here on Chinese soil to have a shot at the Aegis. They are Vici Gaming and they go head to head with TNC. Gents, I feel like this is the perfect matchup in many ways for excitement. As Dendi's already said, it's that TNC, that kind of SEA, run-at-you, fast-paced kind of Dota, backed by a guy who's got TI winning credentials and strategy cap as well, against Vici, who've probably been the best team.
Oh, absolutely. I think Vici Gaming, they are my favorites for this tournament. Even after their group stage, I'm hoping that they solidify things a little bit more going into the playoffs. TNC, though, something special about that team, man. They always seem to make those underdog matches work for them. They always seem to perform best when they are the ones being doubted, or perhaps in this case, hated.
Yeah, I mean, Dendi, that's the point, isn't it? Whenever you looked at the lower brackets in other TIs and you saw TNC or Fnatic or Messi, you're like, oh no, I don't want to play them. They're horrible. I don't like playing those kind of teams in the lower because they're dangerous. Now they're in the upper bracket. Can they be as dangerous?
They are super dangerous. Actually, about C Dota, I said it's active, but TNC, where they have one of the slowest games at the tournament, I think, by stats, which is weird for C Dota, yes. But still, they're doing really well in upper bracket, and they were like top 4 on last major. They're doing an amazing job, and I'm sure we're a really strong contender here. I'm not, for me, also, Vici is super strong team, yep. But I see that, you know, it's going to be pretty even game.
What's it like playing with a really good coach behind you? Because you've had some really good coaches in the past. They've got Heen behind them. He's been there. He's done it. He knows how to win a TI. That must be really good for them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he added a lot of some experience and insights and stuff like this.
Calm them down a little bit.
Discipline.
Discipline. That's a good word. Yeah, very good word. I mean, it makes a difference though, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. I always, you know, people are always talking about TNC now and they're mentioning Heen a lot, but yeah. I really have to give a lot of credit to the 2 supports because I feel like they do get left behind in the dust a lot because they have these flashy players. They have Armel, they have Kuku, they have these young rising stars and everything like that. But AU, this guy, as soon as he joined this team, I feel like they completely switched. He's been such a mental player. He works so well around the map. Same thing with Tims. We saw that unbelievable performance from him during the group stages. So
fantastic.
You can never look over their supports as well as that. So
and his story is amazing, right? Like I actually did not know because his birthday isn't online, but apparently he's 27. Like one of the easily one of the oldest players coming out of the Southeast Asian region. But add on to the top of that, right? He approached TNC not to be a player, not to be their coach,
just to help
but to be their analyst. Yeah. And then they were like, this guy's good. Let's make him our coach. And then from there, they're like, let's make him our captain. Let's have him play on our team. And I think he's doing fantastic work. It's just another one of those stories,
right?
There's
still hope for you, Cap.
Absolutely. That's why I'm so fired up right now, because maybe I can go back, baby. But no, it's like, it reminded me of the Seb story, you know? From, you know, washed up player, just a smart guy about Dota, but can't really click the buttons, and goes into the game and shows that he can actually bring his team to victories.
Let's turn our attention to Vici. I've said they're the best team of the year. This half of the season, if you like, if we're talking 18, 19. Since January, they've been the best team.
there's like a lot of things to talk about with Vici, right? I think you could hear the roar from the crowd when Yang gets announced. Of course, like you look around, people are wearing Yang hats and everything too. He's super popular. Talked to a lot of the pro players, and some of them are saying this guy might be the best player in the world at the moment. Stuff like that. I also want to focus. I also do like to focus on supports, but DY is actually my most improved player of the entire year across any team.
Back to the start of the season,
he was. I mean, we used to.
It was
not like
horrible.
Like me and Trent would be watching, and he would die.
Exactly.
All the
let's
games.
just be absolutely plainly honest about it, because I think we can be. He was horrible at the start of the season.
His 5 position went from pretty much being like one of the worst, if not the worst, to being like top 2 of 5 positions right now in the international. So he is definitely one of the most improved players for me.
What about it? Ori's improvement as well, right? Like, you have 2 players on that team that have just done tremendous things over the last year. For Ori, I would say it's more like a year and a half, 2 years. But that's like just a really impressive story, and it goes to show that maybe some of the mentality that Ori and Paparazzi have as kind of the core elements of the team, they bring something different, right? This is a team that I see yelling at each other nonstop, but they've never, for the season, they've stayed true to what their roster is, and they've had great performances. So maybe something about that works.
Yeah, and Dendi Paparazzi, he's been around for a long time now. He's such a great 1v1 player.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Huge player in China, obviously very popular here as well.
He can play mid, he can play carry.
Right.
He's a perfect teammate.
Yeah. And now he's got great teammates around him, though. Finally. He's in a team where he's not maybe... Like Yang's taken a lot of popularity right here in China. And Ori obviously very big out here. So now he's surrounded by great players.
You should give credit to everyone, because when I watch Vichy games, I'm amazed every time. There's always a lot to learn about them. We move as a unit, we work as a unit, we do things together in perfect fashion. It's just an amazing team.
And they're less boring than they were. I want to be honest about this. They weren't my favourite team 12 months ago. They were a bit... I use the word methodical.
Paul doesn't like when people control the map.
No, it's not that at all. It's just, it's like, move in. Let's go in, guys. Oh, we've got a tower, back off. Oh, we've got one racks, back off. We've got the other racks, back off. Get a shrine. Like, come on, finish the game. And then they were a bit... They were too methodical, right? But they seem to have... They've taken the best bits of that, added some aggression, added some fire, and now they're a great team to watch.
Wouldn't you want to be like that too if you made a mistake and you go back to the room and you're like, oh God, ROTK, what's he gonna do to me? Oh no! So come on, you got to understand their discipline.
That's true. Yeah, if you got ROTK back there, I don't want to mess up at all.
Yeah, and to think about it, right? Maybe that's exactly because you now have players, as opposed to last year where you just had Paparazzi and Ori. Now you've got like somebody like Yang who is just as willing to yell back, right? And I think that kind of aggression that he has in his personality can translate through to the game.
What's that like, Dendi, playing in a team? Because I always imagine you're a passionate man, you're emotional, but have you had teammates that yell at you and you just feel like, shut up?
It depends. Always different teams. But maybe if I would play with ROTK, or ROTK would be my coach, he would probably give me yelling lessons.
Yes.
And when I would yell at people all the time.
And then we'd have angry Dendi.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine that.
I can't imagine. No, that's not possible.
It's very good when you're angry at enemies. Of course, it's...
Of course, yeah. But what about in team, though? How do you cope if someone's really loud in a team?
I think...
Is it okay?
You can be loud, but then you should still stay friendly and friends, and no one should take it personal or anything like that. Then it's okay.
Yeah. Has that happened to you, though? Have you been in a team where, like, someone's really loud and you just want them to not be loud anymore?
Well, we can go loud. Of course, it happened many times, but when we would be happy loud,
Okay.
Scream something not so good, but in a happy way.
Okay.
Oh, I remember watching TI9. I remember watching Navi and just yelling at their opponents. That was actually such that was like the first big like psychological play.
It was so much fun. We had like mirror right in front of us, and enemy right in front of us.
That's what I was thinking.
You guys got the kill, and you guys would all stand up, and then you would sit down real quick.
We would hit table, we would shake everything up.
You were banging the table because it vibrated in the room, right?
Yes. If we do a kill, we hit table.
Dendi and the boys were the first OG. They were the first chat wheelers.
Yeah.
Before it existed.
Yeah, before chat wheelers even had. What do you spam now? What do you spam?
What do you spam now? Резать.
I learned what it means now.
Cut, or slash.
Oh, okay.
It's when Sven coming up with big gun, ultimated.
He taught me that one the other day.
Did he?
Yeah, we were spamming a couple of times. Do you know what that means? And I'm like, oh, well, now I do.
Perfect.
It's a good one.
You learn something every day in Dota.
You do.
As well as life. You learn in Dota as well.
I got that.
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Which way do you think this goes?
VG Gaming.
Yeah?
I have no problem jumping into the spot. I think TNC is going to be a strong lower bracket team. I have them going a bit farther through that lower bracket, but VG Gaming, for here, I think they're just too big of a beast. Again, the biggest problem for me is the fact that TNC, like some of the breaks that I saw, some of the mistakes that they made in the group stage, I'm concerned that's going to continue in the playoffs when things are just, there's even more pressure on them.
That's the problem, Dendi, isn't it? Inconsistency for TNC, because they were a bit up and down in the group stage. And when they look good, they look amazing.
In group
right?
stage, we actually took at least one game from every team except Mineski, which probably know them really well.
SEA.
Yeah.
SEA derbies, they always end up weird like
But for me, I don't know. Those are really, really close games. I expected it to be like 50-50, but the edge would be on Vichy's side just because they're crowd favorites, and obviously a lot of cheering will be.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this room. Obviously, all Vichy biased, I'm sure.
I'd have to also, though.
I'm going to ask it slightly different to you, Fog. What does TNC have to do in this series in order to overcome Vichy?
I think the one thing is that if they have like a certain strategy that's hasn't really been revealed too much for themselves, that's probably one of the best ones, because I think you know the TNC is going to do a lot of homework. They have Heen. You know he's going to come back and he's going to be like, all right, let's bring out the book. Let's see what Vichy's done throughout the whole year at each thing. So I think you have to bring something new to the table, because I do think the TNC some of the times they have been a little bit. It's weird calling TNC a little bit predictable, but with their drafts, you can understand what they're looking for and what they're trying to do. So I feel like they have to bring something extra to the table, at least in that essence, versus Heen.
Okay.
And when it comes to play inside the game, I think a lot of that is going to come around the Tims, which is where some of the slower elements that Dendi was talking about, right? These 4 positions that they bring out, like the Earthshaker and Enigma, these like really big team fighters that can beat them, that can beat Vichy Gaming in the late game. Like he's going to have to come through clutch, because I think there's going to be a large chance of Vichy Gaming take control at first 20.
Okay, so that's what they've got. Dendi, agree, disagree?
Yeah, I kind of would like to see
chance?
Team Smirana. Yeah.
Tim's Mirana, yeah.
Okay.
Tim Shaker, Tim Spirit.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 that I'm looking for.
I was going to actually talk about Mirana a little bit. It's quite a bit of support Mirana now.
Yeah,
Last game
this
as well.
hero
Yeah.
actually have really high win rate at this tournament. Yeah, it's doing really well. It's randomly came here after last small meta patch, and here it is. We see a lot of Mirana, and it's very successful.
Yeah.
I think it's like the 4th most picked with like 60% win rate or something.
Yeah.
It's like crazy that any hero that could be that popular also hold that kind of win rate.
It's flexible, right? I think that's the biggest thing that I've seen is like when you open it, it's like
a core,
you can still run it mid, you can still run it even like I didn't think I saw I don't think I saw a carry one, but we saw mid and we saw 4 position at least picked up.
Yeah,
so.
and I think Moon is the. Whenever you see Moon playing, you're thinking, oh well, Mirana might come out in this particular game because he's so good on it. So yeah, it can be a bit of a flex pick, I guess. Vichy, on the other hand, what have they got to be careful about in this game? What would they not do for TNC?
I think the biggest thing is making sure that they win their lanes against TNC. Making sure, for example, that if they do, if they sacrifice Cuckoo, really shut down Cuckoo's game. Right? Especially if they give him like the Cuckoo Bat Rider that he's so good with. Like make sure he doesn't actually have the game. Punish the fact that they're sacrificing a little bit and trying to secure their safe lane more. I've seen TNC do that a couple times and somehow Cuckoo walks away. Like he's half the time he's solo, but he still walks away like he's been dual laning the entire time. He walks away with that kind of farm. So make sure he doesn't have a good game.
Cuckoo's the one he's definitely the one I'm concerned about that I think Vichy's going to address. Before when I was saying, I messed up saying it before I was saying that Heen was going to do homework, none of you guys corrected me. I was waiting for you guys to make fun of me, but I meant auto TK. It's okay.
It's fine. We've got your back, buddy.
I caught myself after I said it all, but yeah, I think that's the one that I'm worried about is that Cuckoo, I think I've only really been seeing him play like his tanking and his Bat Rider. Yeah. So
yeah,
he needs to find some more variety.
Couple more in there. Dendi, what do they have to be careful of?
I don't know. I think we should just play their own game and
not worry about TNC at all?
Not worry about anything but their own game. Just focus on what we want to do and keep going.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, gents. That's it from our panel, but we need to bring in some experts. So let's head over to our expert panel for the draft.